of you are familiar with that, that is my life, and I love it.
What school?
St. Augustine High School. I just became the head coach there.
Awesome.
So we're super excited. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old who keep my life very busy, and I will confess that I rarely look like this on my day-to-day basis, so it's really fun to be nice and dressed up with you guys. So I've been a dietitian for about 11 years now, and I've been blogging since 2007, and if any of you have been doing it that long as well, you know a lot has changed.
Oh, yes.
Back when you could just take a picture of your food and you're like, great, there it is, let's put it on the internet. That is just not cool anymore. I rebranded a couple years ago to jennabragg.com is my URL, and Make Healthy Easy is now my website, which I told you a little bit about. So I'm going to be demoing a recipe tonight with the LiteHouse Foods Homestyle Ranch. And I don't know if you thought this, but when I was kind of going through this process of developing a relationship with them, it was sort of like, well, what does a dietitian and ranch dressing have to do with one another? Because normally we wouldn't probably put those two things in the same category. And the reason why I'm here today is an event that happened to me back in March. We had picked up some food for some friends that had just had a baby, and I'd ordered it from the Loop and brought it to them, and we're sitting around the table, everyone's opening up their containers, starting to eat, and I realized that the 3 other adults at the table had all ordered a side of ranch dressing, yet none of them had ordered vegetables to go with it. They were dipping sandwiches and french fries in ranch dressing. And so it's kind of like this moment of, well, I can either say, this is ridiculous, people, put it away, or embrace this flavor of wonderful ranch dressing that everybody loves and figure out, well, how can we get healthy foods to go down with that? So that is why I'm so excited to be working with LiteHouse. I love this product. It is a fresh food for our fresh real food as well. It's found in the refrigerated section in the produce department. So it's really easy to find while you're grabbing your vegetables and fruit. You can grab your fresh salad dressing as well. It's made with real ingredients like whole buttermilk and real blue cheese. It's something that you can feel really good about getting yourself and the people that you love. So I'm going to make a roasted carrot and ranch hummus for you today. And this is a very simple recipe. I will not be making Top Chef with this recipe today. But I love simple recipes that bring huge flavor and good nutritional value with them. And so it comes from my kids who one day love hummus and carrots and another day hate it. If any of you have toddlers, you know what I'm talking about. So I was looking for just another option to get vegetables in them and a really delicious flavor like ranch, because I know that they love that. We do dip our vegetables in ranch because it works. It gets a lot of veggies in us. But this just kind of ones up the nutrition by adding some other great foods to it as well. So the base of this is going to start with 1.5 cups of fresh carrots. They just sliced up and roasted in the oven with just a little bit of olive oil. You don't need a lot because the big flavor for this recipe is coming from our ranch dressing. So you don't need much. This is just 20 minutes at 400 degrees. And this is really, the extent of the cooking for this recipe. So this is going to go in our blender. You could also use a food processor here. So that's ingredient 1. This is technically a 4-ingredient recipe if you count the olive oil. If you don't, 3 ingredients, which is great, so you can make it anyways. All right, so hummus we typically think of being made with chickpeas, which I love. I chose to go with a white bean for this for a couple of reasons. I found that when I made hummus with chickpeas at home, this guy over here.
Whoops. That was close.
When I make it at home, chickpeas are a more dry, mealy bean, and I find it takes a lot of oil or liquid to really make it smooth at home. So I'm using a white bean, which is similar to a navy bean, or you could also use a cannellini bean, because I just found it's a lot moister. Since our only liquid and flavor is coming from the ranch dressing, I wanted to use a bean that was going to give us a really smooth texture. And again, with kids, the slightest lump sometimes, and they're like, I'm not eating it. So this is a can of drained and rinsed white beans. It literally says white beans on it. But like I said, you could also use a navy bean or a cannellini bean. So that's going in there. Okay. And then ingredient number 3 is our LiteHouse Homestyle Ranch. Now, has anyone not tasted this yet? Okay, you're gonna get to taste it tonight, and your life will be changed. You'll never have another ranch dressing again. So we're gonna use half a cup in here. So in both my recipes, I was cautious of the portion size because it is a full-fat regular dressing, which means we have great whole ingredients in there. But we still want to be mindful of this. The great thing is because this flavor and these dressings are so bold, you don't need a ton. We had a question.
So could you use, because I researched the products, and you have the Opa Greek ranch, which has the Greek yogurt,
Yep.
which would add protein as well. Have you tried it with that? Would it add the flavor?
It should work just as well. So the reason why I like mixing the ranch dressing with the beans is because these beans are adding filling fiber, which transforms just a typical dip into something that actually gives us filling. So if you're having this as an afternoon snack with your carrots, okay? Carrots are great, but they don't fill you up, nor do they satisfy me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So putting the fiber in there as well as the protein that we get from the beans totally transforms this into a nutritious snack and also a filling snack. So yeah, there's lots of options. You could make this with the blue cheese as well if you wanted to, or any of the line of LiteHouse dressings, because they have delicious flavors available to you.
Because I used the Opa the other day, and I like the idea of the Greek yogurt flavor instead of just using ranch.
Yeah, I mean it's a ranch flavor profile, so I mean you should be able to use it exactly the same as you would a regular ranch.
Absolutely. So this recipe is one, as you can see, it's super simple. You can mix it with whatever you like. You can use any type of bean you like, any of the flavors of dressings that you like as well. I think the ranch works extremely well here, and I hope when you taste it you agree, because I think it's somewhat addictive. And so that's it. And we're just gonna whiz it up. It's gonna be a little loud here for a second. I am using a Blendtec blender here. This is my favorite, and this is their twister jar that makes it real easy to move. But you can do this in any high-powered blender, and you can also do it in a food processor, okay? So, pardon the interruption here. Where did you come on? All right, so I'm just gonna pulse it till we're smooth. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think you will notice that this has a really nice smooth texture because of those white beans. Now, another thing that I really like about the LiteHouse dressings is that they contain canola oil. So canola oil is a monounsaturated, healthy fat, just like olive oil. So we typically think of using olive oil in a hummus. So using this canola oil instead of an olive oil in there gives us the exact same health benefits. In fact, canola oil actually has a qualified health claim that when you replace saturated fat in your diet, which comes from whole dairy products and meats, with canola oil, it can actually help prevent heart disease and improve your cholesterol. So the fat that's in this is delicious. It's what gives great mouthfeel to our dip, but it's also going to be potentially heart health. And we're in our little heart dish. All right, so it's as easy as that. Super simple to make. And I will say, so I've made several batches of the roasted carrots. Like I'll throw that in when I'm roasting whatever for dinner, slice them up. Once they cool, I freeze them. So then I just defrost it, then throw in my few ingredients, and I've got hummus ready to go for lunch, for snack, whatever, in less than 5 minutes. So I love that about this. You could leave out the vegetable altogether and you'd still have a great nutritious dip. Anytime I can sneak vegetables in there, people don't even know they're eating vegetables, and we get that gorgeous orange color. So if we have any Gator fans in here, which I know we do, I did not do that on purpose because I am a Seminole. So forgive me, my Seminole sister.
Can I take a picture of you holding it like me?
I'm sure.